I think people love just how irreverent the whole thing is, not just his character, but the movie, that nothing is too precious. It's very real, it's very grounded, it's very noble, in your face. Everybody's a mark. There is nobody that is safe from the humor or being made fun of. It doesn't shy away from uncomfortable moments, situations, and it just stares you right in the face, but in a really fun way. He's really funny and just really dedicated to this project, and so it's really fun to come up with things and play and riff and have a great time. And he's really focused, and it helps because you're able to get a lot of work done quickly, but you're having fun while you're doing it.
She's coming into this storyline kind of from her own world, and which I think is sort of the thing of, like, she's not really a sidekick. Like, she's a mercenary, and she does the job and then heads out. And so I think in that way she does sort of like hold her own, which is really nice.
I don't think any of us knew how it was going to be with a new director and with a whole new crew and basically a new cast, but he's made everyone feel at home for sure. And yeah, he's a funny guy too. One thing that's super cool and unique about Deadpool is that he's meta, He knows that he's a superhero and he's aware of himself. And I think it's just refreshing to see that. Because most superhero movies, at least before that or recently, they're just a little, what's the word that I'm looking for? Self-righteous, maybe? And Deadpool's definitely not in the same way, self-righteous.
Man, this is so cool. This is because when I was a kid, I always wanted to be a superhero. I always wanted to have powers. I always wanted to be like a part of the team, like a part of the X-Men or the Avengers or anything. Like, I wanted to be a part of something like that. And to see that, I was like, this is really cool. This is actually happening. I get to be, a superhero in a big movie.
It's very different from what I did before, and I think that's what's cool about the sequel, is that it's not just the same jokes again. The stakes are different for all the characters, and that's really cool. And I just think it takes guts to follow up the first movie, because I think people love it, and so I really respect him for, coming onto this project and kind of making it his own, and it's going to be exciting to see what he does.
It was probably fear. Like, I love that movie so much. It's funny. Where would I fit in? I didn't really know about the character. And so my wife, thank God, just said, why are you arguing? Why don't you just read it? Like, just read the script. And it was right there. So I sat. I had been working a lot, so I hadn't slept very much. And I sat on my bed in this kind of prostrated manner and read it on my phone and cracked up for 2 hours and called them back and said, I'm in. If I were to try and sell it as a certain marketing scheme genre, I would be absolutely unable. I think and I'm not saying it's like as a selling point, but it's like, who wouldn't want to watch Deadpool?
I've never been so happy with a movie in my life. There's a certain pressure that comes with doing a sequel that is always kind of terrifying. Actually, I can't say always. I don't really have a lot of experience with sequels, so doing something like this I'm relieved because the movie turned out so well, but it's also in some ways shooting this film was more fun because we're not labored with this origin story and having to create all of this expositional dialogue to kind of introduce an audience to this guy. We can sort of just spread our wings and fly and tell stories that we won't really want to tell, one of which being Cable and Domino and this team and this idea of family. And so I'm thrilled. I'm absolutely, utterly thrilled. Josh is like one of those guys that, you can't believe his movies aren't on TCM because he's so iconic, and he sort of drags around this proverbial bag of rocks with him that feels like he's ripped right out of a Sam Shepard novel or a John Fonte novel or something. He just sort of feels like this timeless character, and we liked that Cable felt kind of timeless in that way. I mean, certainly from the future, when you look at his arm and the technovirus which is taking over and has affected his eye and his body and his back, but Josh brings such a weight to everything he does, and I thought that works so beautifully counterpoint to Deadpool, who brings a true childlike glee to everything. I mean, Deadpool at his heart is a 15-year-old boy